So how did this benefit Panjim as a city?
We have been associated with the Pato Plaza. At the same time, we had some association with the private sector like Tata's Crompton Greaves is a boon to the entrepreneurs in Goa because the interest rate is just 2%.
2%.
Yeah, that's right.
Hi, and welcome to The Brand Stories with me, SurrajPalekar. This is where we talk about different brands which are available and the products and services offered by these brands. Today, we have with us Mr. Angle. He is the Managing Director for EDC, that's Economic Development Corporation of Goa. Mr. Angle, welcome to The Brand Stories.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you for calling me.
Yes, Mr. Angle, first of all, a lot of people would like to know what is EDC and when it started. Give us a little history about the company.
Yeah. Okay. EDC is a Government of Goa State Financial Corporation.
Okay.
It's popularly known as Economic Development Corporation. It's set up somewhere in 1975.
Okay.
The government in 1970 decided that we should have, the state as well as the central governments decided that we should have two institutions for supporting the industries. One is for the development of industrial land and the other one is for providing finance.
Okay.
So in Goa, we have EDC for financing,
Okay.
and it's called as a State Financial Corporation. And for land, we have the Industrial Development Corporation, which is Goa IDC.
Okay.
So we have been under the development banking regime over the years, and of late, we have been registered as a NBFC with RBI.
So, 1975. So technically, you have completed almost 50 years.
That's right.
So, what is the contribution of EDC to Goa's economy? As you call it, the Economic Development Corporation. So, what's EDC's contribution in the last 50 years?
Okay, economic development has been the central part of EDC.
Right.
It's in the name itself. And over the last 50 years, there's a lot of development that EDC has been associated directly or indirectly. This we could classify basically into two parts. One is the industrial development,
Right.
the other one is economic the infrastructure development.
Okay.
Because no economic development can take place without these two things.
Correct.
So on the infrastructure development, we have been associated with the Pato Plaza. The Pato has been the most popular project of Panjim, So basically this project was conceived by the government then to decongest Panjim city.
Which year was this?
This was somewhere maybe in 85, this was conceptualized.
Okay.
Because at that particular point of time, we had a lot of the large population would enter Panjim and go out, and the Panjim city was getting crowded,
Congested.
and there was space required for the commercial establishments. So the government at that particular point of time decided to have this Pato project, which is roughly about 175,000 square meters, and the mandate was given to EDC.
Okay.
So we went about developing the Pato project, and over the years we have allotted the plots on lease to all the establishments that have been set up there. They are from the central government, from the state government, as well as the private, and that is one big project that we have contributed on the infrastructure front.
So how did this benefit Panjim as a city?
The entire today, if you try to visualize and compare Panjim over the last 20 years, if Pato was not there over the last 25 years or so,
Right.
you can just imagine all these business establishments would have been into
In the city.
in the city
Correct.
itself.
Yeah.
And if they were in the city, you can just imagine what would be the traffic volumes as
Yes.
well as during the morning as well as the evening times. You
Yes.
understand. So
Yes.
and then EDC also has been associated with the setting up of some of these state government entities. Like GSIDC was set up by us, and that was way back in 2001. And once GSIDC was operational, we came back, and GSIDC is on its own.
Right.
And if you see the entire infrastructure development post 2000, has been done by GSIDC, in addition to what PWD does over the other parts of the state as well.
Right.
Then we have ITG. ITG was earlier known as Electronic Corporation of Goa Limited, and that was a company which was our subsidiary.
Okay.
So now they are into IT infrastructure and other things. Then you have GL, Goa Electronics Limited. So in this fashion, we have, for the industrial development of Goa, we have been associated with many projects, directly or indirectly. And we have GAPL. We had set up Goa Antibiotics Pharmaceuticals Limited, joint participation with some of the central PSUs that were there.
Right.
At the same time, we had some association with the private sector like Tata's Crompton Greaves in the 80s. And there we had set up ACGL, Automobile Corporation of Goa Limited. Then you had this Goa Electricals and Fans in Betoda. So these were our associations. So these are the projects that have come on the industrial front. And in addition to that, we have supported the other SME industry over the years. If not every second, every third industry has been supported by EDC in some fashion or the other.
So you're saying this is about the infrastructure, what we're talking about, and that's the one pillar that you talk about.
That's right.
Second, what other segments that you're actually supporting apart from infrastructure?
The other pillar that is there is about industries. Okay. So in the industrial development, like I told you, these industries were set up in joint participation. We have also funded the industries by way of two types of schemes. So we have government schemes and we have the other term loan schemes that are there. In the government schemes that are there, we have two popular schemes.
Okay.
One is known as the Chief Minister's Rojgar Yojana scheme.
So we call it CMRY.
Yeah, popularly known as CMRY. Now, in this CMRY scheme, basically the government felt that we should support small businesses up to the level of 25 lakhs.
Okay.
So, any business other than tobacco, manufacturing and liquor, associated with liquor, any of these businesses are funded under the CMRY scheme. So this scheme is a boon to the entrepreneurs in Goa because the interest rate is just 2%.
2%.
Yeah, that's
it.
right. It's only 2%.
Okay.
And this 2%.
But how easy or difficult it is to get the loan actually from EDC?
The procedure is very, very simple. We have tried to make it as simple as possible for the entrepreneur. It cannot be as simpler than this.
Okay.
Like I'll just explain to you.
Sure.
Now, we have a loan up to 2 lakhs where only the promoter and his spouse are responsible for the loan repayment. There is no guarantee. There is no guarantor insisted.
Okay.
If the loan amount is between 2 to 6 lakhs, then we request for one guarantor.
Up to 2 to 6 lakhs.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if the loan is more than 6 lakhs, then we insist for, in addition to this, we ask for another one guarantor who has a house or plot or whatever immobile property, which is not mortgaged against to us, but only the notarized copy of that document is kept with us just to ascertain the financial position of the guarantor.
So this has no legal implications to things. Basically, to make sure the party is sound, financially sound.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. And at the end of the day, we have to understand one thing: that if the government has formulated some scheme, and if this scheme has to be in existence, the earlier people have to repay this amount.
Correct.
So if this money is not recovered, then the schemes will die out,
It's a loss.
So for last 25 years, the CMRY scheme would be completing almost 25 years this year. And in this 25 years, this scheme wouldn't have been in existence if the people who took the loan initially wouldn't have repaid it.
Correct.
So it's a moral responsibility of the entrepreneurs as well as EDC to see that the scheme is functional.
Correct.
And that's why little checks and balances are there.
Definitely.
And at the end of the day, like I told you, that we are registered with RBI. So RBI, there are norms like for NBFCs. You need to see that the unit is in operation. You need to see we have to follow those parameters. Correct. So when lending, you do this lending, those minimum things, whatever are required to be done, are taken care of.
So would you like to share any particular number in last 25 years? How many people have actually benefited from CMRY in Goa?
I think on the CMRY front, we have assisted close to about 10,000 entrepreneurs.
Okay.
and the amount could be somewhere roughly about 250 crores.
Wow. In Goa
In Goa
itself. Yeah,
in
correct.
Goa itself.
Wow. So apart from CMRY, and I mean, what else do we have under that?
Similarly, we have another one government scheme called as the Goa Tribal Employment Generation Program. It's popularly known as GTEGP.
GTEGP. Okay.
This is for our tribal brothers and sisters who are there. So for the tribal youth, what we do is, this scheme again is at 2% on the same terms as, more or less same terms as CMRY. But in addition, they get 40% subsidy.
Okay.
Which means that if he takes 100 rupees, he has to repay only 60 rupees.
60 rupees. This is under the GTEGP.
And the amount of finance in these schemes is almost to the tune of almost 90 to 95%. It depends whether it's a male, female. There are some categories.
And I just would probably repeat this, is that there is no restriction apart from tobacco and liquor. People can get into any business, any industry is allowed.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. And CMRY is giving loan up to 25 lakh.
The project cost is 25 lakhs. And we give up to 95% of the
project
cost.
Okay. And what is the cap in GTEGP?
It's 25 lakhs again.
25 lakh itself.
That's right.
But with a 40%
subsidy, you don't have to repay 40% back. So you take 100 rupees, you don't pay back 40. You pay only the remaining 60.
Correct. So any restrictions in terms of availing these loans? I mean, who is eligible to avail these loans? What are those terms?
So there were a few restrictions which were there as a part of the scheme earlier. Like the scheme was designed initially with a cap of about 10 lakhs income. Then we had a restriction that the first time entrepreneurs who are already into business couldn't take the schemes.
Okay.
So some few restrictions were there. So the Honorable Chief Minister one day spoke to us last year, and he said that why don't you do away with these restrictions. So we again had a brainstorming among ourselves, and what we did is the entire scheme has been revised with some relaxations that have taken place. And today there is no restriction whether you are an existing or a new entrepreneur. So even the existing entrepreneurs are eligible to take this, which many of our viewers might not know.
So irrespective of how many years you've been into business?
The criteria is the age should be, it is for an individual, and it is up to the age of 50, which we have a relaxation up to maybe 5 years.
Okay.
So up to those age limits, any individual can come and take a loan from us.
Interesting.
Even with an existing business.
Interesting. So tell me, what is the kind of timeline you guys have set, or probably it takes for somebody to start the process until they get it in their account? What is the timeline usually? A standard timeline that you
let us say you made the application today, and if you have submitted all the papers to us, I have directions to my team to start immediately processing it. Within a week, they can take it to conclusion. And normally, we have a task force committee meeting.
Right.
So this meets once in a month. But the task force has gone beyond taking into consideration the urgency of some of the cases. Right. And they have authorized me to sanction a loan, the managing director or there are powers delegated, wherein we can sanction the loan even within a week.
Wow.
But if something is not urgent, because not all cases are urgent,
correct,
and a wider the examination of the proposal is better. So we have it before the task force, which is there maybe every 3 weeks or so, 3 to 4 weeks. We have the task force meeting. So roughly it takes a month for someone to take it. But if someone is really in urgent need, we tell them, please let us know. We will sanction you the loan within a week. And the documentation is again computerized, so not much it takes. They have to come and sign and take the thing. So everything can be done within 7 to 10 days.
Nice. So what do you think, what are the key factors because of which the loan may get rejected? What are those factors? Ye cheezein hain, this is what it is, because of which it is definitely getting rejected. I'm sure there will be certain points which you guys take into consideration.
That's right. The only factor on which the loan can get rejected is if someone is a defaulter. Because the
defaulter where?
Defaulter with any bank and institution. Because today the financial industry has information on something called as CIBIL.
Correct.
So once the CIBIL check is done and we find there is some default, then he might not be eligible.
Okay.
The borrower might not be eligible.
Got it.
But that is very rare that someone is in a default, because if it's a first timer, normally thing. But just to discourage the defaulters, because if he is a defaulter, he's having a bad track record,
Yeah.
So no institution considers that. So that's the only limitation.
So, and apart from this age restrictions, and we were talking about, is there any other kind of restrictions that is there, to avail for these loans?
See,
the person has to be like originally from Goa or a number of years in Goa. That could be one of the criteria.
Right. That's right. Yeah. So necessarily both these schemes are for Goans.
Okay.
What we mean by Goans is a person born in Goa and living in Goa, as well as who's domiciled in Goa, you could say. Right. So if someone is domiciled in Goa, not born in Goa and here for 15 years, he automatically becomes a Goan. So this scheme is basically for all those people who are domiciled in Goa.
Now, just a very weird question though. I mean, it struck my mind. If somebody is actually coming into GTEGP, okay, can he apply for GTEGP and CMRY together?
No.
Because suppose he fulfills both the criteria. He's into the backward. And can he apply for both?
No, it's not like that. They can take one of the loans either from this or the other one, either CMRY or GTPG.
And you don't take any collaterals whatsoever apart from the document that you keep?
Specified, yeah. Except for the guarantors that I mentioned, there is no immobile collateral security insisted for these loans.
Okay. So we are talking about GTGP and we are talking about CMRY, which is up to 25 lakh. Okay, now that is a certain limit and a cap to it. What about the businesses which are actually probably much larger? I'm sure, let's take an example. Now, in Goa, real estate is really booming. The development of land is booming. Somebody is looking at about, say, 2 crores, 10 crores. Can they come to you and will they enjoy the similar kind of rate of interest?
Yeah, more or less, or even slightly better than this. Also, there are circumstances. I'll explain to you.
Okay.
So basically, for the term loan borrowers, other than the CMRY and GTGP, we can give term loans up to 15 crores.
Up to 15 crores.
Yeah. We have 4 or 5 broad categories of schemes. The first one is known as the professional loan scheme.
Okay.
So in the professional loan scheme, all the doctors, architects, dentists, engineers, whoever wants to start their business, loans up to 75 lakhs are given to them.
Okay.
Without any much insistence of collaterals. Now, if they are taking up immobile property, that is mortgaged. Right? These are only with the guarantors.
Correct.
So, this is at 9.5% interest rate only.
9.5%?
5%, yeah, that's
okay.
right. Now, as regards the other schemes that are there, the next scheme that is there is we have for the construction, like you mentioned, the contractors. So those people who are already into contracting business, we consider them and we give loans even up to 10 or 15 crores. But the debt equity ratio there is roughly about 1.5:1.
Okay.
So there are norms.
Yeah.
The interest rate starts from 10.5, goes up to 12.5. So that's the band that is there. So there's a credit rating for that.
Right.
And for the construction, he can get based on the project cost and his viability. Of course, the financial viability of the project is considered and the background of the promoter. Now, in addition to that, for the person who is setting up a MSME industry, there are 2 types of loans. Okay. Suppose you are an existing entrepreneur and there's a new entrepreneur. So for the new entrepreneur, we have a scheme called as General Term Loan Scheme. So that's a greenfield project. So we fund up to 2 parts out of 3 parts. So 2:1 is the debt equity ratio. And loans can go up to 15 crores. Now, again, there are 2 categories here. For the first timers, we limit this loan based on the constitution, whether they are proprietary, partnership, company. So there are restrictions to that. So these are the limits that are there for them. For proprietary, I think it is 4 crores.
Right.
Then partnership 6 crores, and the others.
So these bigger loans do not enjoy any kind of low rate of interest or any kind of a subsidy.
No, they do.
They do?
Other than the construction, transport, and mining, some of the sectors excluded. We have a scheme called as modified interest rebate scheme. It's a
Okay.
government incentive scheme where they get maximum interest rebate up to 25 lakhs per year. Each borrower is entitled to 25 lakhs per year. If he's a Goan, he gets 2%. If it's woman, another 2%. And if it's a backward taluka, there's nothing backward in Goa, but the talukas which are adjacent to Karnataka and Maharashtra, we want the businesses to spread over there, So that's why the government has called these talukas as backward talukas, so that the businesses go over there.
Right.
They get 5% there.
Okay.
So overall, all put together, they get 7% in all these 3 categories put together.
7%
Total
you're getting.
7% on this count. And if they employ if they employ 20 Goans,
Right.
Goan employees, they get another 2%.
So total 9%.
Totally 9%
So on a 9.5% rate of interest, you're actually giving
at 0.5.
0.5 is the rate of interest that we're getting. I think it's pretty interesting. I really wonder that why we have actually really not gone and explored these kind of options. I think this is a question to all the Goan entrepreneurs and all the business people who are actually based out of here. I think this is something definitely we should actually go to EDC and explore these options. Mr. Agle, first of all, thank you so much for actually giving us this information. So coming to my next question is, we also heard that you are giving loans to government employees.
Yeah, that's right. So what we have done is, for the government employees, we have formulated a personal loan scheme.
Okay.
And in this personal loan scheme, we give loans at 10.5, which is again more or less lesser than the lenders which are there in the market.
Right.
So most of the government employees who are there, they prefer to come to EDC and they take these personal loans as well.
Okay. And how's the response of Goan business people, or let's say Goan entrepreneurs? See, now lately, last couple of years, we have been actually grilled into our mind the term entrepreneurship, entrepreneur life. Everybody's into getting into new businesses, and it's a great initiative by our government, I believe. So how's the response from them to you actually? Do many people come to EDC for this?
Yeah. There are lots of people coming to EDC. First time, they are a little bit hesitant.
Okay.
The moment they enter EDC, they feel that, what is this? Why did I have a mind block to enter EDC?
You guys offer them a good coffee?
All those things are there nevertheless. But that feeling of coming to a government institution is there among most of the youth.
Right.
But once they enter, then they feel the change and they tell us that we feel this is like a private sector.
Right.
So they come to us very frequently, our customers, and the government's initiative is to increase this entrepreneurship base that is there.
Right.
So what we have done, of late we have started another initiative wherein the government has requested the Gujarat government to depute an institution called as Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India. Now, this institute is one of the reputed institutes in the country which is into entrepreneurial education. Because what we realized is, in spite of all the things that the government has been doing, the entrepreneurship, to extent that it has to be picked up, that was not happening. So we analyzed it. We analyzed that. See, government is giving education. Government is doing skilling. Government is giving cheaper finance. So we felt that we will add another one dimension of entrepreneurial education to this entire ecosystem.
Has it made a difference?
It will make a difference in the next coming few years.
Okay.
So we have started that. So the government of late has asked EDI to set up their Goa center, which they have done. And that is located in EDC house on the 5th floor.
Okay.
So now, as a part of our CSR, we have mandated them to conduct entrepreneurship development programs. So what we have done is, the entire entrepreneurial ecosystem that is there in Goa, we found that there are people who have passed out from the schools, colleges and out of the education system, who could be entrepreneurs, who want to become entrepreneurs, but they need support.
But the question is it chargeable or it is free?
The entire thing is almost funded by us. It's almost free.
Okay.
In the sense, like if someone has taken a loan from us, we have made it free for him straight away. If someone is yet to take a loan from us and he wants to become an entrepreneur, we have kept a fee of only 750 rupees plus GST, of course, which is just 10% of the entire cost that actually is incurred.
So 750 is like per month, per session house?
Per 3-day session. It's a 3-day program.
Got it.
And this cost is about 7,500 for us. We are subsidizing the 90%, and the entrepreneur has to pay only this amount. And even after he goes through this program, he starts his entrepreneurial journey. He takes a loan from us. This 750 is given credit to him. So as a result, it's zero for every entrepreneur.
Correct.
Okay. Correct. So this programs are there. What we have done is we have asked EDII to do this program in 3 types. First one is we will be doing a 1-day program, awareness program, which will be in EDC or any other locations as requested and demand necessitates, as well as the colleges.
Right.
So we expect to go to the colleges and give an 1-day awareness program. So in this awareness program, the basics of entrepreneurships are just made known to the participants. So those who are interested will come for the 3-day program. The 3-day program is curated in such a fashion, taking into our experience with the entrepreneurs, looking into what is those areas that they are looking at. Like someone wants finance, a little bit of finance, someone wants a little bit of legal. So we have curated those programs in such a fashion wherein faculty from Gujarat as well as other faculty come in, and we give this 3-day training program. In fact, one is going on right now there, and it will be completed today. So this is a second program in our series. So these 3-day programs will give an entrepreneur who can set up with a project cost of about 5, 10 or 15, 25. So up to 25, he should be able to set up these projects with this sort of education. But if someone wants more information, to have more information about entrepreneurship, then we have a 14-day program which will be coming up very soon. So in the 14-day program, we will be having a more detailed sessions, because those entrepreneurs who want to have industries, bigger industries, may require a little bit more information on different subjects, So there we'll be having a 14-day program. So this is the entire scheme of things for entrepreneurs.
Very interesting. I think we all hope and wish that, there should be some really great brands coming out of this soil and going global. I mean, that's all we envision. And what is your take on it? How do you see Goa, in future, and startups coming to Goa? What do you see that as the future? What's your take on it?
Our entire endeavor of the government as well as EDC has been to promote our Goan entrepreneurs. So in the last 50 years, we have done these entrepreneurship programs in 80s and 90s as well. And at that point of time, those entrepreneurs who have undergone these programs are today large industries as well.
Are we looking at attracting more entrepreneurs coming from outside to Goa and starting their operations in Goa? Are we looking something up?
See, today's environment, the world has become one village.
Correct.
With the opening up of the economy in 92, So over the period, anything that happens in America immediately impacts everyone in Goa or India, So like that, today there are no barriers. So entrepreneurs are free to come from anywhere and everywhere. And but our focus is more on the Goan entrepreneurs. Because for the bigger entrepreneurs who are going to come outside, they will have their own money, or they will have banks to finance them. Because in the financial sector, you have banks and large institutions funding them. But our focus would be mostly on the small Goan entrepreneurs, and with incentives of this nature, So, and these incentives are structured in such a fashion that we support the scrupulous borrowers. And at the same time, sometimes unscrupulous borrowers come and they will try to divert the funds, So those things are taken care.
Fantastic. It's great information actually, Mr. Angle. Before I come to my last question, I would like to congratulate you for completing 50 years. EDC completing 50 years is a great milestone, and I hope we still see more 50 and more 100 years. What is the vision of EDC in times to come? What's the roadmap?
The roadmap of EDC in the coming years would be to support our first generation entrepreneurs who are there.
Okay.
We would like these entrepreneurs to go to the next level. Those entrepreneurs who have taken our CMRY loan, many of them have already come to the next level where they have come back to us for loans of 1 crore and above.
Okay.
Once they come to this level, over a period, we want them to go to the next level.
Right.
Because entrepreneurship is that particular field where the sky is the limit.
Right.
So we would expect our entrepreneurs to grow in a very systematic and proper way, so that over the period of time, we have a lot of success stories to tell to the next generation.
Definitely. Well, Mr. Angle, thank you so much. That was again very, very important information that you've been actually sharing with us. Well, that was Mr. Angle, okay, the MD of Economic Development Corporation of Goa. Thank you so much. And I think all the business people, all the entrepreneurs who's actually watching this, I think the first step needs to be going to ADC and actually finding out more and exploring more schemes and loan options which we anyways have to offer. The ADC has to offer. I think let's explore these kind of options which are there available for us. So yeah, I mean, with that note, thank you so much, and we'll see you again on next episode of the Brand Stories with Suraj Palekar. Thank you so much.